Continuing on with 1984 Blade Runner Part 2. I believe that all kinds of stuff is going on, and I am just a bearer of some memes right now. But, you know, I guess bad news to the haters, some positive news for the like-minded. I don't know. I don't want to assume because I thought from the very start that the last thing I would want is to gloat. But would definitely, is a boring post. I was just seeing if there's something exciting in my feed. You know, that very busy trash can. No, lingerie, no. Now there's some very angry. You know, I do feel that's a shame. Whatever happened to Vince Neil's to their plane. I mean, that's harsh. That took a header, right? And then someone, the pilot, unfortunately, was killed. And it, you know, didn't veer off the runway. It's a damn shame. That is, now at the same time, I think this is appropriate because the channel talks about being a conspiracy theorist. In no way do I tie this to, I don't actually think there's anything but a lot of mishaps in flying because it's probably, can be dangerous without good maintenance. And then I actually think the problem with flying is the same problem with food industry and manufacturing. I've had a lot of coworkers over that say the last 10 years, I wouldn't trust them for nothing. And I'm thinking that it's a lot of people like that aren't very dependable. I was thinking I wanted to switch right away, and I was realizing that I despise my job, but I still give 100% above and beyond, even when I don't want to be there. And if I wasn't going to do the best I could possibly do, why would I be there? It certainly has to be more than the paycheck. Otherwise, wow. I worked at the cheese, I worked at the dairy. And without constant vigilance against listeria and other horrible things that can come out of there, you know, people can get killed. And it's if all you're worrying about is your paycheck and your bennies, man, maybe you should be worrying about competently doing the job. The byproduct of a job done correctly and well should be a paycheck. But I'm different when it comes to all this stuff, and I just think that I personally believe our standards have went down the toilet, and then we co-opted the world to take care of our to make things. We give responsibility to the insurance companies. Ange was telling me, is it true now you're supposed to just hit the deer? Because, I mean, I spend every night driving to make sure I would never hit even a squirrel. And if you're close enough to me and you hit me because I want to stop for a squirrel, I'm going to get out and commit assault. Ange gets mad about that, but I don't know what other choice I'd have to make. Because if you were the 3 car lengths behind me, you could stop for shit too. But somehow you came up from 15 miles back and then you won't get off my ass. You got everything coming to you you deserve and more. Just saying. We're at this weird spot where the poorest behavior gets rewarded. Oh, that fast track to the 1984, not, the sex robots of Blade Runner. I don't know. I mean, I don't want any of it, but I don't think we're going to get a choice. I really would like to see Ron Paul dismantle the Fed. I've been a Ron Paul guy for a lot. I just think he's great. I didn't watch the game. Now, I did hear this is real. I am not saying Phil from All That Remains. Is that All That Remains? All That Remains. Timcast and that stuff. He's got good takes. Yeah, it seems like some stuff's actually going, and maybe Blade Runner is the outcome that we're gonna get. And yeah, I guess I'm gonna end it with this because I am enjoying the Conan, and if it's a dying game, I'd like to make some videos and capture because boy, is it fun! It's easy to write jokes in that one. Have a good time. And aside with the gamers, Gamergate was something I watched. I watched the infiltration of gaming with identity politics and literally divide. And hey, how many gaming studios have floundered or completely flopped because of all this? That's not me, right? I'm not making that up. That's just a thing that happened because, you go broke if you went a certain way, it turned out. Because the truth, unfortunate for the ears of those who don't like it, was that it was a tiny fringe element of society being propped up as the majority when it was a tiny minority. And then their preferences were actually not probably within the social contract. So it kind of imploded. It turns out all that grinding on the street corner only worked during Mardi Gras. Or that county outside of Vegas where you can still go to, the Bunny Ranch or whatever. Those little enclaves of corruption and despair where you can do all the things you think you want to do. But outside of those little pockets, the social contract was a lot different. I personally believe it was casinos and gambling that loosened up everybody and make one of those incredibly destructive vices palatable to everyone. Bring the kids, come to the buffet, gamble away your house. It's all good. Eventually, we'll stick you in a tube and feed you cricket paste anyways, and you'll do what you're told. So interesting. So interesting. And then, yeah. Are there really? So, I watched the railroading and the propping up of the last, let's say, at least 4 years. Who was the bad guy? Who was the good guy? As a crazy person, there was always this. It turns out a lot of things are permissible. A lot of these things we're just stupid enough to not stop. But a couple of these things look like treason. I mean, what are we going to do about them? Oh, wow. It turns out I think we had to choose the identity politics color change revolution. But the system that's actually in place that we're pretending doesn't work right might have mechanisms to deal with treasonous individuals. I have no idea. I know that if I was into writing titles, you could milk it out every day. I'm not. I'm going with, my opinion is I'd rather have Blade Runner than 1984. Equilibrium I'd replace with 1984 if you just want some two kick-ass sci-fi movies. 1984 kind of a slow burn for me. My point is, I want the crazy, whatever's possible within moral limits to come true world, not the we're gonna control you and you do everything you're said and in a good, quiet worker, obedient worker as a useful citizen. No, no, no. Later.